What is up, you guys? A little bit of a different video today. So I'm going to be bringing a little of the automotive side of me. Yep, that's right. We're going to be talking about cars. More specifically, I'm going to be showing you guys my interest in cars and some of my dream cars and just where I currently stand in the automotive industry. As far as my favorite cars, my favorite brands, and just my overall taste in cars. So just a little background of me. I was originally a big fan of technology. I'd always be excited for the latest iPhones, the latest smartphones. You know, I was just a big fan of technology, but now I have moved over into the automotive world. And for the past 8 months, I've really learned a lot about cars. Even though I currently don't own one, but I've been working hard to try and save up for one. Because here in Texas, I really couldn't imagine myself without a car. So enough with the intro, let's just dive straight into the video. So right here on Nissan's website, you're looking at this gorgeous 2020 Nissan Murano. And it is my dream daily driver that I hope to accomplish in a couple years from now. So why did I pick the Nissan Murano? Well, I've always been into SUVs. I'm more of an SUV guy. Since I was a little kid, I would always have dreams of driving this beautiful, luxurious black SUV. It wasn't the Murano, but it was some other kind of SUV. It was like some boxy kind of SUV. I'm not really sure what it was, but I always had dreams of driving it at the age of 21. But then when I saw this Murano, that completely changed. So my exact dream car is 2020 or whatever year I'm going to be able to buy one. Nissan Murano Platinum all-wheel drive in gun metallic gray with the black leather seats. And maybe throw in the black rims from the Midnight Edition because it just makes it look more sportier. So the Murano has some really nice color choices here. Some of my favorites have to be the white, the silver, the gun metallic gray, the black, the blue, and the orange colors. I'm not really feeling the brown or red colors on this Murano. It just doesn't sit right with me. I really wish they still kept the gold color from the older generations. That red color, they could really use a different shade of red. Now before I made the Murano my dream car, or SUV in this case, I would always compare it to a Kia Sorento. I was always so indecisive with these two. They were just my top two dream SUVs. I really did not know which one I liked more than the other. And if you remember what I said earlier in the video, as a little kid I always dreamed of having a black luxurious luxury SUV, kind of boxy looking, and that's basically the Sorento in this case. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, just look at it. It's not as curvy, bulbous looking as the Murano. It's more of a sleeker design. It's more flat, kind of like a truck feel. Basically a real SUV, just what an SUV should really be. But if I was in the market for a crossover, this Murano would win hands down for me. I was also comparing this Murano to a Hyundai Santa Fe after I have test driving the Elantra, but those didn't grow on me. The Murano really still stands out to me out of all of those, including the Sorento. Personally, I just think the Murano has more of a bubbly personality compared to other SUVs. It just looks more sporty, more fun to drive, not really just being a typical family hauler. It also really reminded me of the Lexus RX 350 with those curvy body lines and the floating roof design. Another reason why I love the Murano is that you get a good balance of luxury, performance, and fuel economy. It's driven by a 3.5 liter V6 engine, making 260 horsepower, which sounds like a lot actually. And that engine is hooked up to a CVT transmission, which stands for continuously variable transmission. Now, there are a lot of people who are just not a fan of CVTs. I think the CVT paired with the V6 is not all that bad, considering the amount of power you get. It might not be fast off the line, but once you get it up to about 4,000 RPMs, this Murano really does catch up. Not to mention it has a really nice V6 sound. Another reason why I love the Murano is that it is very comfortable to be in. Seats are so nice and plush. It feels like you're in an Infiniti or a Genesis. Although Infiniti does have some pretty outdated interiors, I'm not gonna lie, it really doesn't justify the high price tag. But this Murano looks nothing near outdated in my opinion. I'm also a big fan of Nissan's design language when it comes to their gauge clusters. They're simple, easy to read, they look very sharp, and while not being all digital, it still has a nice screen in the center. And without a doubt, it is way better than anything I've seen from Kia. I really have a hard time clicking when it comes to their design language with gauge clusters and just their overall interior of their cars. They're not bad by any means, but I just think Nissans are much cleaner looking. However, I kinda like Hyundai's design language. I'm just not too sure that I like what they did in the Santa Fe. It's an all digital setup. Honestly, I just prefer analog, but that's just me. It certainly looks nice, it looks upscale for what it is. I can see myself loving it. But if I'm being honest, I just prefer my tachometer and my speedometer to be analog rather than digital. But again, that's just my preference. That's debatable. I also really like the Lexus RX 350's gauge setup. It's just like Nissan's, it's exactly what I want. However, as for design language, I'm not too sure I'm a big fan of it. It's just kind of boring to me. The RX 350 in my opinion is not as bubbly as the Murano. They certainly have a different vibe to them. I prefer the Murano's more bubbly look as a whole. But as for reliability, Lexus obviously has the upper hand. They make really solid cars, and I'll always respect them for that. So another reason why I love the Murano is all the safety features that you get. It has lane keep assist. It keeps you from drifting out of your lane. That's really nice to have, especially if you're a learner driver like I still am. It has a 360 camera system, cameras all over the place, like in the mirrors and the front grille. The ones for the mirrors help with blind spot detection, which is really nice. There's somebody in your blind spot, it will alert you. And it also has parking sensors, so it will be near impossible to ram this thing into somebody else. Also, a lot of storage area in the Murano. And I forgot to mention that the rear seats do recline. How awesome is that? Seriously, I think the Murano is the best SUV in its class. And the Rogue really has nothing on this. It's a totally different class. The Murano is just hands down my favorite summer vehicle. The likes of the Lexus RX 350, other than reliability of course, it's going to be quite hard for them to bring me over. So those are my thoughts on the current Nissan Murano. It is without a doubt the daily driver of my dreams, and I really hope to achieve this. Like, I'd be so happy to have this car right now. And success doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifelong journey with ups and downs. And with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, because I will try to reply to any comments that you might have. Ask me anything about cars, I'll be happy to respond. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.